Hello students, I welcome you all to this video lecture on input tax credit. In this video, we'll study about illustration 12. Following are the transactions of a taxable person in Karnataka for the month of November 2019. Please give importance to the month and also the registered state, the state in which the SSC has registered himself, that is Karnataka. We are asked to compute total turnover and also GST payable. Total turnover is nothing but aggregate turnover. Please remember there is a difference between total turnover and taxable turnover. We are being asked to compute total turnover. Please keep that in mind. Supply to a taxable person in Mysore, 5%, 1 lakh. Registration in Karnataka, supplier is in Karnataka, recipient is also in Karnataka. So CGST, SGST, 2.5% each, and taxable value of transaction is 1 lakh. Supply to a taxable person in Goa, nil rate. So the GST is not applicable, but we will take into consideration the turnover. Supply to a taxable person in Bangalore, 12%, 2 lakh. Once again, within the same state, so CGST, SGST will be applicable on this particular transaction. Supply to a taxable person in Udupi at the instructions of a dealer in Jammu and Kashmir, 18%, 4 lakh. This is very interesting. Though both the supplier and recipient are in the same state, the request or the order for the supply has come from the other state, that is Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is a union territory. So we have to assume that the goods will be supplied outside the state. Hence IGST will be applicable on this particular transaction. Let me repeat this once again for you. Though the goods are being sold or received in the same state, it is at the instruction of a dealer who is in some other state or union territory in this case. So please remember, we have to assume that goods are moving out of the state. Hence IGST will be applicable here on this particular transaction. Supply to an unregistered dealer in Mangalore. We have discussed this in the previous problems also. When you are selling, whether the person has registered or not does not matter. So Mangalore is in the same state. Once again, CGST, SGST will be applicable on this particular transaction. Supply to SEZ developer in Bangalore. We know whenever you supply something to an SEZ unit, it will be deemed to be an export. So deemed export means zero rated supply. Supply to a taxable person in Pondicherry, union territory outside Karnataka, IGST will be applicable. Supply to a registered person in Pune, this particular transaction or this particular supply is exempt from taxation. We will only take into consideration the turnover. Export to China, 9 lakh, though they have given 12%, for us it is a zero rated supply. Why is it so? Because it is export. Supply to a unit of SEZ in Mysore, once again deemed export, zero rated. Please remember, we have to take the turnover here and we have to ignore the rate of GST. Supply to a taxable person in Udupi within the same state, what will apply? Yes, you are right, CGST and SGST will be applicable, 5 lakh on this particular 5 lakh. Supply to a dealer in Belgaum, once again within the same state, CGST, SGST will be applicable at 28% on 4 lakh. They have also mentioned that there is credit balance in electronic credit ledger of this particular SSC. IGST, under IGST there is 1,70,000, under CGST there is 90,000, under SGST there is 1,50,000. So while computing the GST payable, what we have to do is, first we have to take the output tax liability, then we have to deduct input tax credit available. We have got that information here. Once we deduct this, only then if the amount payable is more than ITC, we will have to pay the amount to the government. So let's move on to solve this problem. So computation of total turnover and output tax liability. We all know the registration of the SSE is in Karnataka. So let's look at the first problem. So let's take a look at the first transaction supplied to a person in Mysore. Within the same state, CGST, SGST will be applicable on 1 lakh, 2.5% each. Why is this so? Total GST applicable is 5%. We have to divide that equally among CGST and SGST. So 1 lakh into 2.5%, 2500. Once again the same for SGST. There is no IGST in this case. Supplied goods to Goa, nil rate. We have discussed this already. Though we will take an amount in total turnover, GST will not be applicable. Why? Because it is nil rated supply. Next is supplied goods to Bangalore, CGST and SGST 2 lakh into 6% each. Bangalore is within the same state, intra-state supply. So why 6% here? 12% is the total GST rate. We have to divide it equally. So 6% each. 2 lakh into 6%, 12,000, 12,000 once again. Next, supplied goods to Udupi, order from JK. This is very important. Though we are supplying the goods to Udupi, the order has been received or the instructions has been received from Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So we will have to apply, or IGST will be applicable on this particular transaction. So 4 lakh into 18%, 72,000 in the IGST column. Next, supplied goods to unregistered dealer in Mangalore within the same state. 28% is the rate of GST. We'll divide it equally among CGST and SGST. 6,40,000 is the value of transaction. So 14% each, 89,600, 89,600. Supplied goods to an SEZ developer. Obviously it is deemed export. So zero rated supply. Though we will take the amount in the total turnover column or the aggregate turnover column, we will take nothing in the GST columns. Why? Because it is zero rated supply. Supplied goods to Pondicherry. So it is moving from one state to another union territory. So IGST will be applicable. 8 lakh into 12%, 96,000. Why do we not divide the GST rate here? Yes, you are right. There is only one type of GST that is applicable. So we need not divide the rate. Supplied goods to Pune. It has been explicitly mentioned in the problem that it is an exempt supply. Hence, we'll only take the total turnover and we'll ignore the GST. Supplied goods to China, though they have given rate of GST on that particular case, but this is an export and export is zero rated in India. Hence 9 lakh. We'll take only 9 lakh, that is total turnover. We'll ignore the other things. Supplied goods to SEZ unit in Mysore, deemed export. Once again, take the turnover of that particular transaction and ignore everything else. Next, supplied goods to Udupi, CGST and SGST within the same state. It is an intra-state supply. So 5 lakh into 6% each. So 30,000 each. Next is supplied goods to Belgaum. Once again within the same state. So 4 lakh into 28% was the rate of GST. We have divided it equally among two types of GST, 14% each. So 56,000 in CGST column, 56,000 in SGST column. So what is the total aggregate turnover here, or total turnover as asked in the question? 1 lakh, 2 lakh 40, 2 lakh, 4 lakh, 6 lakh 40, 10 lakh, 8 lakh, 12 lakh, 9 lakh, 6 lakh, 5 lakhs, 4 lakhs. When we add all of this, we will get 69 lakh 80,000. And output tax liability, in case of CGST, we have to add 2,500, 12,000, 89,600, 30,000, 56,000, we will get 1,90,000. Same is the case with SGST also. At last we'll add the total in the IGST column. So 72,000, 96,000, when we add both of it we'll get 1,68,000. So we have found out the total turnover and output tax liability. Now we have to find out the GST payable. How do we do that? Yes, you are right. Output tax liability, from that we will deduct the input tax credit available. The first one, we'll take the output tax liability. We have computed it already. 1,90,100 in the CGST column, same amount in the SGST column, and 1,68,000 in the IGST column. Please remember, whenever there is balance, ITC balance in IGST, first and foremost we have to set off everything that is available under IGST, ITC under IGST. Only then we have to go for other ITC available. So let's start. The first one under IGST. Though there is 1,70,000 available as credit under IGST, here we can claim only 1,68,000, right? Output tax liability is 1,68,000, so can claim only such amount. So what will be the remaining balance? CGST and SGST we have not claimed anything as of now. Only under IGST we have claimed the full amount. In IGST or under IGST, still there is 2,000 rupees remaining as credit. So we will divide that equally among CGST and SGST, 1,000 each. So what will be the remaining amount? 1,89,100. 1,90,100 minus 1,000, 1,89,100. Next, under CGST, as we all know, in electronic credit ledger they have mentioned that 90,000 is available. So we will deduct that. We'll set it off. Next, under SGST, there is 1,50,000. We'll set off that also. So now we are remaining with GST payable for the month of November 2019. 99,100, that is 1,89,100 minus 90,000, 99,100. 1,89,100 minus 1,50,000, 39,100. What is the total amount that is needed to be paid? That is, total GST payable for the month is 99,100 plus 39,100. So 1,38,200 the SSC has to pay to the government for the month of November 2019. Thank you.